Hello, everybody, and welcome. Thank you for joining me if you are tuning in for the premiere of this video about Aphrodite and the Holy Spirit coming together to talk to us about soul contracts, the love story of light, the dance between two souls. And so what comes through in this message, it's a collective reading. What comes through in this message is going to help give you some insight on a relationship in your life where you're trying to understand, all right, what's this teaching me? Is this like my forever soulmate? Is this a karmic? Is this my twin flame? So Aphrodite and the Holy Spirit want to come in and shed some light on real love, karmic love, all of that. So let's get right in and see what they have to say first. What does real love look like? Okay. Oh, wow. Multi-dimensionality. And I'm trying to learn how to work this light. There we go. You can kind of see it. There we go. So this is when it's real love, when it's true love, this goes beyond just the chemical connection and attraction. Okay. This is mind, body, heart, and soul connection. This says the frequency of multidimensionality activates our awareness of our true essence, which is eternal and multi-dimensional. So this is somebody where you are going to have an empathic connection, a telepathic connection with them. They're going to read your thoughts. You're going to read their thoughts. And this is where they stimulate your mind. They stimulate your heart. They stimulate your soul. Okay. And they stimulate your body. This is like the whole package. The four corners is what I'm feeling in this card. And so if you have emotional support, mental support, physical support, and spiritual support in this connection, then you know it's true love. But if there's something missing, if there's one or more of those elements missing, then this connection is more about teaching you something, growing you in some capacity. And that doesn't mean that, you guys won't eventually grow into something more, something deeper than just this lesson. But those are the four cornerstones that need to be present. If you want to ask, is this real love? Is this true love equally, mutually on both sides? Then there has to be stimulation of the mind, of the heart, of the body, of the soul, of the spirit. Okay. There has to be all of that stimulation, because if any little bit is missing, then that means there's an imbalance in the connection, which oftentimes means we're in the midst of learning a lesson, or it could outright just be a karmic connection. So let's pull some more insight about this real love. The main thing here is the multidimensionality. Okay, look at this is joy, where there's more joy and happiness in this connection, and there's sadness and pain. And it doesn't mean that you'll never have problems, okay, and that you won't argue and things like that. But it just means like the predominant state of this connection, of this relationship, is that of joy, of happiness, of peace. All right, so. And I tried to get some better lighting for this premiere and before I start the lives, because the last video was a little off with the lighting. So, all right, give us more insight. Aphrodite, Holy Spirit, show us true love. Show us true love, real love, long-lasting love. All right, so we have transformation. It's going to take me a minute to figure this out, guys. Bear with me. All right, there we go. Transformation. So with this card coming through, when it's real love, when it's true love, you have this desire within to truly transform, to change, to become a better person. Same for your partner, okay, who you're involved with. It's very transformational for both of you. It takes you both to a different level of being, of consciousness, of love, of connection. So this says, The energy of transformation supports our ability to gracefully flow through times of transition, allowing the old to make room for the new. So, for many of you, this true love connection is going to come after a relationship that taught you a lot. Okay. That may have been very challenging, very painful. You could have had a lot of love for this person. Okay. But before you come into this true love connection, each of you are going to go through a relationship that's going to teach you and grow you and shape you in ways so that you and this true love are compatible. So let's see what's next. And reflection. Yeah, you guys are going to be like a reflection of each other. And look at that, master number 33. So this would be where you would refer to each other as your other half, your twin flame, your soulmate. Okay, it says the energy of reflection supports our growth through the insight we get from the contemplations of self and others. So yeah, this is going to feel like your perfect fit, your perfect person. And that doesn't mean that you guys won't ever fight, okay, or ever have, some turbulence, things like that. It just means that there's more flow, there's more harmony. You guys are more on the same page with each other than you're not. All right, look at that. Connection. And it says the frequency of connection supports our ability to find alignment and resonance with others, things, and ideas. So there's going to be an undeniable connection that both of you feel, okay? It's not just going to be where one of you is all in and the other one isn't. Remember, all four cornerstones are going to be present between you and this other person when you come together. And that's how you're going to know it's true love. And so you can have connection with a lot of people, but this particular connection is going to entail everything that is balancing you out, where you're feeling fulfilled and happy. All right. Next, look at this. We got the divine feminine energy. So this is going to be a relationship that is very loving, very nurturing, very supportive. This says the frequency of the divine feminine supports our soft, receptive, and nurturing side, facilitating our intuition and intricate understanding of our connection to the cosmos. So you guys really awaken each other. And that goes back to like that transformation energy where you both are inspired to become better versions of yourself because of the connection that you guys have with each other. All right. So let's look at some of the blessings when it's true love. And we're going to explore teaching soulmates and then karmics and the difference in all of that. So let's look at the blessings of this true love when you know it's true love. All right. All right. I feel like right there. All right. A blessing on homecoming. And that's master number 44. Okay. So a blessing on homecoming. This is beautiful energy for you. All right. It's like, again, that reflection, that twin flame, that soulmate, feeling like you've found your way home, feeling like you have found your other half, where you're meant to be, who you belong with. And look at this, a blessing on your family. So you guys are going to build a family together. And if you're not building a family together, then one of you or both of you may already have children. And it's like your family will blend very beautifully. Okay. And it won't matter that, it's a mixed family where, they're, your person's kids have a different parent and perhaps your kids have a different parent. Some of you, it's like, it's going to be this perfect, happy family, this perfect fit, like the Brady Bunch. Okay. For others of you, this is who you're going to build a family with, okay? And they feel like family when you meet them. And a blessing on your sleep. They're going to be very supportive and loving to you, okay? You're going to feel safe in their presence. And with this, a blessing on sleep, I feel them being in your life, there's no questioning how they feel about you, what they think about you, their intention for you, okay? there's no question in your heart and your mind about it, because it's just like, it's all there. There's no secrets. There's nothing that's hidden. You guys are straight up, straightforward with each other. You guys have this empathic, telepathic connection. Okay. So it's like you guys couldn't even lie to each other if you tried. All right. So this here, this is what true love looks like. All right. So let's pull a few more cards about this true love energy. All right, right there, I feel. Okay, look at this. Guilt. Don't let guilt get in the way of happiness. So this is for you. And when you meet this person, don't ever think for 1 second that you are not worthy of their love, of their time, of their attention, of whatever. Okay? You and this person are a perfect match. If somebody is in your life or comes into your life and like everything that we've discussed is there, is present, and they're interested in you and they're present with you and this is where they want to be, don't allow any sort of insecurity to step in the way of that. And think like, oh, I'm not good enough, or once they really get to know me, like they're going to leave me. No, when these 4 things are present, you know it's real. All right. Recognition. The divine will help you recognize signs and miracles. There, you both are going to recognize the soul connection immediately. This isn't where one person is confused and the other person is all in love. No, this is a very equal recognition. And I feel like the message coming through is very important for like certain people for like right now, and like what you're going through. Admire. It's time to think of everything that you admire about your partner. You guys are going to be each other's biggest fans. Okay, the only thing I see here is a potential of feeling unworthy, not good enough, like this is too good to be true. The other shoe's going to drop, and Spirit doesn't want you to think that way. All right, you have Aphrodite and the Holy Spirit coming in, telling you what real love looks like. That kind of soul contract. Okay. There's like the only thing, the guilt, that's the only thing that came out that is negative. All right. And we did see that there's more positive, there's more happiness, there's more harmony here for those of you who are in this true love, truly divine connection. So let's look at a learning soulmate. That could be just somebody who is going to teach you and then move on, like a soulmate in passing. Okay. Or this could be where you guys start out teaching each other a lesson, and through the fulfillment of that lesson, you guys actually develop into more. Okay. So this is what a teaching soulmate is going to look like and feel like. And remember, it definitely can transpire into more, but there's a lesson that has to be learned first, or the soulmate is teaching you a lesson so that you can align to that true love. So let's see. Okay, so we have balance, and this tells me when it's a teaching soulmate, you're going to often feel like you and this person are out of balance, out of alignment. Like you're going to have moments where it's like perfect, it's beautiful, it's everything that you think love should be. Okay, but there's going to be equal amount of moments, if not more so, where you feel very out of balance, out of alignment with this person. And it doesn't mean that you don't have a strong connection and that you don't love them and that they don't love you. Okay. This is just saying when it's a teaching soulmate or you are in the midst of a deep lesson, it's going to feel more out of balance, more out of alignment than it's going to feel like all is well. All right, so let's pull some more cards and get some more insight. Right there, first chakra. The energy of the root chakra supports our sense of safety in the physical world and reminds us to enjoy our physical bodies. All right, so what this is saying is when it's a teaching soulmate, there's going to be a very strong physical attraction, a lot of chemistry, passion, electricity, fireworks. Okay. And it's not to say true love can't have this, but your good relations is going to be like one thing that you both realize is really a positive about this relationship is the good sex, maybe even more so than good communication. Okay, so definitely good sex, but also there's some lessons that are about survival and stability that come with the root chakra. All right, so let's see what else. Expression. The frequency of expression supports our ability to bring out our true essence through many different forms of communication. All right, so how funny that I said that. Like, you guys have good sex, but probably not the best communication. All right, there's going to be out of the 4 different cornerstones, there's going to be something that is just totally amiss. And so with this coming through, I feel like it's a big imbalance in the mental body, the mental energy between the two of you, where again, it's like you're kind of reaching for different things, but you have this connection that keeps you guys interested in each other and you have really good relations. But it's like it's very hard. It's very hard to communicate or like properly express yourself or feeling like that's allowed, that you can do that. And honesty, okay, you guys are gonna struggle with being able to be totally open and free and honest with each other about stuff. And again, it's that goes back to this expression energy, right? Where it's like you guys kind of walk on eggshells, or you're too afraid to say what you're really thinking, what you're really feeling, because you don't want to rock the boat. You don't want to upset them. You want to preserve the relationship, or they may at times accuse you of that very thing. Okay, that they feel like they have to walk on eggshells around you as so they don't upset you, etc. So let's pull some cards to see what sort of blessings come with this teaching soulmate that could just be here for the lesson and then moving on. And usually when it's a teaching soulmate, you and this person will like always be connected, or you'll be friends in the future. When it's a teaching soulmate, it's not like that bad energy. Okay, it could end badly initially, but you guys eventually will work through it because you're soulmates. Okay. So what blessings come with this soulmate lesson relationship? All right, and I feel like I should only pull 2. So we're just going to pull 2. All right, what do we have? What did I just say? Oops, there we go. A blessing on friendship. Yes. It's like no matter what, you and this person are always going to be friends. Okay. And if this is where you guys are meant to like turn into a more committed long-term relationship after you get over the lesson, you will. But it's like you guys will always be friends. And look at this blessing of the waters. This teaching soulmate is going to open you up emotionally in ways that you're not prior to your connection with them. All right. And I find this interesting that this is card 14 and this is card 4. So I'm feeling like the energy of the 4 is coming through, and it brings me back to those 4 cornerstones, which, so with this, I feel this teaching soulmate is to help you fully evolve one of those cornerstones to align to your true like person who you're really meant to be with, like long term. But again, it could be where this is a teaching soulmate and the lesson is to feel your heart for the first time. Truly, truly feel your heart. It could start out as friendship, and through that friendship, you're learning the lesson, and you end up falling in love, or they end up falling in love with you. All right. So let's pull some these cards about this, and then we will look at karmics. Okay. Boundaries. Having sensible boundaries is important. And I feel like because you guys have that super hot, passionate connection, it makes boundaries really hard. And it kind of leads me to the devil right there. Okay. Because when I've even had a relationship like that. It could just be very, I don't even know the word, but it's teaching you boundaries. Okay. So if it feels like over your head, it feels too big, and it's like one thing after the next, because remember, there's more than not a sense of feeling imbalanced, feeling like you guys are on different playing fields. Okay. And this is a message, a confirmation of that, because it's teaching you guys different lessons to fully have these cornerstones so you could come to your soulmate. And again, you guys could be teaching each other to eventually evolve into that connection. I've seen that many, many times. All right. Ooh, you guys are going to have a telepathic connection. Doesn't surprise me, since you guys are always going to just have this really great friendship. So in this teaching soulmate relationship, you will have a telepathic connection with this person. And you will love them very much. With Cupid, love is in the air. You will love them very much. And I think it might be like a little bit confusing for you, okay? Because the physical connection is so strong and you do love them. And now we have this telepathy coming in. And I think that's why Aphrodite and the Holy Spirit, we're talking about those 4 cornerstones, as that is the basis of a true love relationship. Because this here is not to say that it's not true love, but this here is a teaching soulmate relationship connection. And therefore, it feels very intense. It feels like this is who you should be with forever, for always. Okay. But once the lesson is learned, you're going to find your feelings change, their feelings change. And so it's not to say, again, that you guys can't evolve into a very long-term lasting love, that, real love scenario, or later in the future come back together, because you guys are connected for life with these teaching soulmate relationships. You truly, truly are. You are so connected for life. You will always feel them. They will always feel you. All right. Because they are a soulmate to you. So let's get into the karmics. Let's see what that looks like. Actually, this guy right here. So let's see, who is he? Surrender. Oh, it's all green. So to me, that is screaming of heart chakra energy. The energy of surrender supports us to let go of illusionary control and yield to the flow of love and life. Okay, so this is a message that when it's a karmic, you feel completely out of control, out of sorts with yourself. This is where you're saying, like, the way I'm thinking, the way I'm feeling, what I'm doing, this isn't me. And it can stir you up to where you're full of like insecurity and all these worries and just anxiety. Okay. So when it's a karmic, your heart is constantly confused. Okay. And it's like you always feel like you're chasing, okay, or like you can't rest. It's always one thing after another. And that doesn't mean that you don't have a connection and that you don't feel love, because I see the green for the heart chakra there. Like, you feel love, but it's like toxic love. It's crazy love. It's where you can never just relax, feel safe. You're always wondering, what's next? What are you doing? Where are you? Who are you talking to? What kind of trouble are you getting into now? So let's get some more insight. And I feel with the heart chakra, you are definitely going to love this karmic. Like, there will be strong love. Yeah, as I'm saying that, look, union. This is what I mean. It's like there's this unquenched thirst, desire within you to be in union with them. All right. Let's see what's next. Romantic love. See, I knew that you loved them. I know there is love here. Okay. And they're going to love you back. It's not to say that you just feel love and they don't know. You're going to love them back. But there is a big trouble with authenticity here. So that goes back to feeling insecure, all right, having a lot of anxiety, always wondering what they're thinking, what they're feeling, what's going to happen next, when are they going to get mad next, when are they going to flip out next, okay? But it's almost like you can't stay away. This is where we break up, we get back together, we break up, we get back together, we break up, we get back together. Or if we're not like breaking up and getting back together, it's like this person comes into your life and then exits, and then comes back and then exits. Okay. They're just like constantly in and out, and your friends and your family don't like them. And if in fact, it may get to a point where people are finally like, look, if you're going to stay with this person, just don't tell me about it anymore. Like, it's always the same thing. Like, this is never, ever going to work out for you with them. Like, it's just a real back and forth. But there is these intense feelings of deep, deep love. Okay. And it's a bit overwhelming, so much to where I see like you feel like you're losing yourself, and that's being, who you're not really at your core, accepting behavior that you normally wouldn't, giving this person a free pass for certain behaviors where there's nobody else in your life that would ever get that free pass. Okay. This person, this karmic energy is like, it changes you and makes you feel weaker, makes you feel more vulnerable, but it feels like real love. It feels like real love, but you always kind of feel like you're chasing it. Like, it's not really being reciprocated. Okay. And this particular message that's coming through about this karmic energy is you're experiencing, those of you where you're like, oh my gosh, that totally resonates. It's because you're learning about self-worth, self-love, personal boundary. And this karmic person, this karmic soulmate, is teaching you that. And I call them karmic because karmic to me is like the really hard lessons. It doesn't mean that you and this person aren't like soulmates and that they don't unconditionally love you and all of that. It's just they're in your life to teach you a deep, deep lesson that you're just not getting. You're not learning. There's some pattern in your life that keeps repeating over and over. And that's why this karmic is here, is for you to break free of that. Like, they're your passageway, and through their constant bad behavior and just the emotional ups and downs, the in and out, it begins to transform you. It begins to change you. And at times you may feel like you're getting a hardened heart or you're growing darker, but you're not. This person is pushing you to your limit so that you will tap into that empowerment within and say, no more, no more. I deserve better than this. And you believe that. And once that lesson is learned and totally received through all of you, you will have no trouble walking away from the karmic or no trouble getting over this karmic. And you can probably even think of relationships in your past where you struggled to stop thinking about somebody, to get over somebody, okay? And then different things happen in your life and you grow, you change, you evolve, and then you realize at some point along the way, like you got over that person, you don't think about them anymore. You wouldn't even want them if they showed up now. So karmics can feel just as intense as that true love, twin flame connection. But it can be very devastating when we realize that's not what it is. Okay. And that's why Aphrodite and the Holy Spirit are coming in, is because for those of you that have experienced this, they don't want you to give up on love, to give up on yourself, to think anything is wrong with you. Okay. We're all learning, growing, and evolving, all of us. And just because this is like a karmic soulmate doesn't mean you're a bad person and you deserve bad karma. That's not what this is about. This karmic brings you a lesson that allows you to finally break free from some repeating pattern of behavior in your life. And sometimes, like, certain people I've done readings for, it's like they were in this horrible toxic relationship with a karmic, and it just due to the severity of everything, they actually started getting therapy after the relationship ended so they could heal, so they could mend. And what they realized is they needed that therapy long before that karmic showed up. And they actually felt grateful for the karmic bringing them to that breaking point, to where they finally went and did something to help themselves, because it just felt so big and so beyond them. Okay. And so sometimes, the biggest blessings in our life show up at first as like a box of darkness. Okay. And there's this little parable I heard on YouTube, and it talks about how everything happens for good. And it's talking about how a king is sword fighting, and he drops his sword and it chops off his toe. And his person that is always with him, always protecting him, was like, all things happen for good, which infuriated the king. Okay. Because he's like, no, losing my toe, that's not for good. So he banished him to the dungeon to imprison him. All right. And then the king is out on a hunting trip, and he gets separated from the hunting party, and the locals in the forest, the jungle, capture him, and they're going to sacrifice him to their deity. And they notice he is missing a toe, and they're like, oh, we cannot sacrifice to our deity because he's imperfect. So they let him go, and he escapes back. And when he gets back, he tells his person, you were right, all things happen for good, but I feel bad. You've been sitting in prison all this time, for no good reason. You were absolutely right. And he said, no, all things happen for good. If I would have been not in prison, I would have been right there with you, protecting you. And I don't have a missing toe, so they would have sacrificed me. And so that was a very powerful story that I listened to. And I feel like it really applies here for this karmic message, because just because things don't work out or they end badly, or you feel that you're less than after the connection, it doesn't mean that it's always going to be that way. There is some greater lesson, some bigger blessing that will come. I promise you that. I do. And Aphrodite and the Holy Spirit wanted to bring this message to you so that you understand the difference and not look at, bad relationships as punishment to you, like, what's wrong with me? I'm not lovable, all of that. We're all here learning and growing, and we learn the most through the relationships that are the most near and dear to our heart, right? Just those of you who are parents out there, you know what I'm talking about. Like, your kids teach you more about life than anything else, right? And it should really be the other way around. But your kids teach you more. Like, the closer, the more near and dear the relationship to the heart, the greater impact it has to change us, to transform us, to open us up. All right. And I'm going to pull one final card. I do feel that those of you who are very lonely or question whether there's true love, there is. And Aphrodite and the Holy Spirit brought you to this reading so that you know that. Okay, so let's pull one final message. All right, so this is the artwork, and it says, it's time to reflect on what really matters. Ultimately, this is love, peace, and happiness, and you can only find these within yourself. When there is peace and love in your heart, there will be peace and love in your world, for all of your experiences are simply your own reflection. See, we're all learning and growing, and when we're ready, when we have completed all 4 cornerstones within ourselves, and we have that to offer, then that comes into our world. Okay, it absolutely does. And Aphrodite and the Holy Spirit want you to know that, all right, and not give up on love. And those really heavy, painful, challenging lessons that you have encountered in, past romantic relationships, take another look at it. What was this teaching me? How is this trying to grow me? How is this trying to transform me? Because everything brings with it a lesson and a blessing, everything. All right. So those are your messages about soul contracts from Aphrodite and the Holy Spirit. I am sending each and every one of you lots of love and light. Take care. Bye-bye.